Good morning, everyone. I'm currently in the car driving and heading towards our Sunday morning workout. So happy Sunday morning, and I hope that maybe all of you are also headed out for to enjoy the rest of the fall and have a good run or something like that. Today is our Puncti Bite for the week of the 24th of October, and it's maybe one of our most exciting weeks because yes, we do get to make wine starting on Tuesday. We are also heading straight on into all of the unknown identifications, and on Tuesday we will be going ahead and making our reserve and working stocks, and then on Thursday we'll begin that process of identification, so we'll really hit the ground running on Thursday. I wanted to start the day by relating a little bit of my experience, and I know that some of you were there too, Marielle. I'm sure you were at the seminar on Friday. It was just one of the best seminars I've ever been to, and the presenter talked about the relationship between the GIT normal flora, the lactobacilli population, and childhood asthma. And so the children who have more, and some of you probably knew this from some of my student posters, the students have found studies showing, that if the children have a richer population of lactobacilli in their gut, then they're less likely to develop childhood asthma. And she's looking at this relationship, and an interesting component of this was that she looked at homes where people have pets, and if people have pets that are both indoor outdoor pets, children in those homes are more likely to develop a richer, more diverse lactobacilli population and are less likely to get childhood asthma. So this is just a great it was just a great seminar, and I just wanted to share a little bit about it with you. From there, let's go ahead and talk about what's up and coming on our schedule. This week is labs 18 and 19, as I mentioned, and I had noted that I would be gone on Thursday, but I will actually not be gone on Thursday. I will be gone on Friday. So if anyone, so Leslie and Chelsea, you're up for open lab that day. I'll try to make sure that Jake and or John can be there as well. But also, if anyone does not have class at 11 o'clock on Friday, could you let me know? I would really like someone to put in a DVD to play the vodcast in the lecture hall, so you could get the chance to be a part of the sports bar in the business building with all of the various screens. So let me know if anybody is available on Friday for that. That would be so marvelous. Okay, and let's dive in now to looking at the TA guidelines for labs 18 and 19 and talking a little bit about each one of those. This is a marvelous week to really communicate with your students. It's a good time to stop them from making mistakes early in their unknown identification, because sometimes students will go ahead and continue and forge ahead thinking that everything will be okay even if they have a contaminated culture. So I think it's a good time to talk to your students. Go up and talk to them about their unknown. Ask them about the things they have observed so far, and make sure that they are seeing what you would expect for that particular unknown. And it's a nice time to intervene early before they've done a lot of tests on something that's not pure and that might cause you a lot more work later on. So during Lab 18, as I said, we will be inoculating reserve and working stocks. Please remind the students that their hypotheses and references will be due at the beginning of Lab 19. And take time to help them with the format that we want them to use for those hypotheses and references. Take time to let them know that they will want to find a citation format, and also let them know that you will be checking on that format, that you'll check to make sure that they are using that particular journal's citation format. So make sure they do explain what's going on there. A few of you may have decided to do the lecture, even though I often will do this lecture. If so, there's a good section here on the preparation of wine. This is just a fun lecture to give, and so please do it up. If you don't have time to study for it and really give a show on this lecture, let me know and I'll do it for you. Okay, so on Lab 19, This is a very, very rare day. In fact, it's the only day where you do not have a lecture to give. So it's a work day. It's a day where we can communicate individually with the students more and more. And you'll want to begin the day by collecting their hypotheses and references assignment. You'll also want to begin the day by labeling an MRVP rack for the MRVP tubes, so that we can make sure that those are set aside and put into the incubator in a separate place than your other tubes, because they have to incubate longer. We want to be organized with where we put tubes throughout the unknown process. We'll also want to pass out cups for students to put their tubes in, so that we can have organization of where all of their tests are, and it's easy for them to reach in and grab just their tube. So also today, you can help me, but I'll try to remember to put up a picture on the board reminding them of all of the colony morphologies, as well as the broth pattern growth patterns in broth. So all of these things will be reminders from talking about them earlier, but it's a good time for them to describe the morphology of the colony. Last week during the lab sessions and even during Open Lab, a lot of students were trying to put their cell morphology in place of their colony morphology. So we need to remind them that colonies are the things that grow on plates. So we have to go around and kind of help them remember that, help them understand where they're recording data and how they're recording data, and get them inspired to get started on their tables early, so that they won't be so overwhelmed with that report when it does come along. I've written down some of what they're doing for the procedure here in the TA guidelines, and they'll be inoculating a lot of media. So also encourage them to find the dichotomous keys that are present online, so that they can begin to think about what their unknown might be after today. As they begin to get results, it'll be helpful to have the dichotomous keys along with that. Those are found under additional information on the lab website. So it's something you may want to check out. If you don't have extra copies of those keys, you may want to print yourself a copy so that you have it as well. And if you haven't printed yourself a copy of the unknowns and what each unknown is, that may be a good thing to do as well. Thank you so much to all of you. You did such a wonderful job last week. All of you had the clues. That's the first time that has ever happened. No, I'm not kidding. That's the first time that has ever happened. So it's really exciting, and I thank you so much for that. And I hope that everyone has an awesome week.